Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Fitness Over 40, series I've been writing about and blogging about and recording here for you guys. This next series is called The Secret to Losing Weight. Yes, you heard me right. There are secrets. I'm going to make them not secrets, though. So it's been about a week or so since the last time I've talked about anything. I posted the Secret to Losing Weight Fitness Over 40 series about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. Definitely a lot of things going on, as you all well know. We're dealing with, COVID and, all kinds of, crazy things that have been going on. We're possibly headed into some more probable lockdowns, and has everything to do with your overall health and wellness and mental state and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to touch on the different things that I touched on in the blog, it's the title is kind of a farce in a sense. There are no real secrets to losing weight, and that's what I'm going to get into today. So first thing I wanted to touch on was the number one biggest failure for most people trying to lose weight is that they're looking for the quick fix. And sure, maybe on the front end you can lose a little bit of weight, but we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about how that ends up backfiring. And as we've seen over many, many years, and I've been doing this a long time, I've seen people ride that roller coaster for a long time and really never get anywhere. It's frustrating on my end because I see people suffering when they don't need to. The second biggest reason, kind of looking at my notes here, is nobody sticks with anything long enough for it to work. Again, that kind of goes back to the quick fix. We gained 40, 50, 60, 100 pounds, and we're expecting that to be gone in a month. Or we do things for a couple months, and it just seems to not be working. But if we really laid it out in a graph, and you were to physically see the progress that you've made, you would see that you've definitely made some improvements. So first I want to talk about, there are shortcuts to fitness and weight loss, but there's also a ton of lies. I mean, just plain and simple, just things that are just not true. Something I got from somebody you may well know is Seth Godin. And in my blog, I have a link to his blog. Seth Godin has some really great things, but when it comes to fitness and dieting and losing weight and being healthy, he attacks things from a 4-question test. And the number one thing, is it repeatable? Number 2, is it non-harmful? Number 3, is it additive? And number 4, can it survive the crowd? So let's take the first one. Is it repeatable? Can I do this for a long time? Is this a crash diet? That's the question you need to ask yourself when it comes to, doing a diet or something to help you lose weight. It needs to be something that can be sustained. That is probably the number one most important thing, and also one of the reasons why most people fail with diets is because, generally speaking, they're too crazy and they're not sustainable. Therefore, we quit them. I mean, plain and simple. Very, very simple. The grapefruit diet, although over the course of a few days might be a great jump start to detoxing the body and starting you off on a better regimen and new habits of eating, but it is definitely not sustainable for the rest of your life. You can't eat grapefruit every single day and that's it. It's not going to work. Plain and simple. Another really popular thing are um, things where you're getting food shipped to you. Now, some of that may be sustainable, but in the long term, if you're on vacation, if you're at work, if there's some place that you've gone that's out of the norm, um, the food isn't going to be shipped to you. It's just it's just the way it is, right? So, is that sustainable? Yes and no. But for the long term and really fitting in any situation, no, it's not. Um, the next one is it non-harmful? So doing it over that long period of time, is it going to hurt you? Um, is it going to have any downstream effects on my health? So there's some crazy diets out there where there's extremes, right? And they're limiting certain things. These things can have a negative effect on your health. You may lose weight in the front end, um, but if you're eating a high fat, high cholesterol, high meat diet with little to no vegetables and fiber, and you're not really drinking enough water, yeah, you may lose some weight because you changed the way you ate, but you're hurting your health in the long term also. Again, that's something that's not sustainable. Um, so the next one, is it additive? That's number 3. What that means, does it improve over time? Does it start to build upon itself and improving the way your general wellness and health would be? That's a really, really kind of important aspect of eating and losing weight and being healthy, is that over time, what is the cumulative effect of this particular thing that you are doing? And that kind of feeds in with number 2. But number 2 was more about, will it harm you? Number 3 is it going to improve things over a course of time? Are you going to get better at it? Is it going to make your body function better? Really, really important. So, perfect example, drinking water every single day. That's additive. That is something that over time will show its benefit. It may not show it in the first 2 days unless you're really dehydrated, but over the long term, having a very good, consistent intake of good old H2O every day throughout the day is going to rain major, major benefits to your general wellness and your overall health. And then, can it survive the crowd? Does it have to be a secret? This one's kind of like weird in a sense. Going to the grocery store and shopping on the perimeter of the grocery store, it's not a big secret. Most people don't think about it that way. But it can survive. Like, it's something that can be repeatable over and over and over and over and over again, right? Finding that balance, creating the new habits, that's what we're after. If it can sustain, and if many people can do it, it can't be just something that 1 or 2 people can do. Really, really important. So thinking about and kind of going back to all these things. Let's say you're in your 40s, like we're talking about, maybe 50s, and you're 60 pounds overweight. And it probably took, more than likely, it probably took a good 15 years to get there. Let's say you gained 5 pounds a year over the course of 15 years. That is 75 pounds, right? Did the math right? 5 times 15, yeah, 75. So that's 75 pounds. So, the first year that started to happen, not a big deal. You're like, whatever, but it's that cumulative effect. Now, you want to get rid of that 75 pounds. Is it going to take 15 years to get rid of it? No. But it's not going to take 3 months either. Plus, you also have to realize that the cumulative effect of that poor lifestyle probably brought on some other issues that you're dealing with, what we call those comorbidities, possibly pre-diabetic, maybe even diabetic, at this point. Cholesterol issues, hypertension, all these issues. So what's going to happen is that your results are possibly, depending on your changes that you make up front, are going to be pretty big, 10, 15, 20 pounds in maybe a couple months. But then you're going to find that things are going to start to plateau a little bit for you. That means there's just some more adjustments that you need to make. Looking at those comorbidities, if you have those things, continuing to focus on ways to improve your general wellness and overall health. Your hormones are at this time of life are also a big challenge, especially more so for females. So you have premenopause, perimenopause, postmenopausal. These things also have an effect. So when you were 25, you can make changes and your body responds. Now it's going to take a little bit longer. So biggest thing is patience here. There is no quick fix in a sense of, you got 50, 60, 75 pounds to lose. It's not going to come off in a couple months. So that goes back to that first thing. Is it sustainable? The things that I'm going to do, are sustainable? Keeping things simple is really the most important piece of sustainability. When things are complicated in our lives, like our brains just don't work with that, right? Our brains are constantly looking for the easiest route, and that's understandable. And that means not really having to think about too much. And I've talked about that in other previous blogs in regards to this, and also some other video recordings about that. And you can look back on those. It's just some great information there. So let's talk about, is it non-harmful, or is it something that is harmful? This new thing that you want to do. There's a lot of vitamins or fat burners or products out there that claim to help you increase your metabolism or help you lose weight. Most are BS. There's a few out there that can provide support. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's really important to understand that there are nutritional supplements out there, and companies that provide you with great additives to what it is that you're doing. But there are a lot of things that are just plain out bogus, and in turn can actually hurt you. I grew up, started in fitness in the 90s when, ephedra and ephedrine were big fat burners, and caffeine and just overstimulation of the nervous system was just the biggest thing out there. That's what you did to get ripped or to lose weight. And it really created some very harmful effects on the heart and circulatory system, nervousness, things like that. So you kind of want to steer clear of that. And the other part, is it harmful? Surgeries. Surgeries in any shape or form are very, very taxing and stressful on the body, both from a physical standpoint and also from your central nervous system. So elective surgeries, unless you are completely in a position where, like you're going to die in a week, and the surgery can help prevent that from happening, you really want to look at that as that's not something that's sustainable. You really didn't change anything. You're kind of forcing the body to do something, whether it be like, that stomach surgery or liposuction or things like that. Those can be very destructive and sometimes have long-term side effects, permanent side effects, and sometimes end up coming back worse than before. So not a great option, not really, in my opinion. What I've seen, just good old-fashioned tenacity and focus and hard work is going to get you there. So let's talk about, thinking about kind of reviewing like what I've said. I didn't really give any direct solutions to weight loss. Everybody's journey is a little bit different, but I can tell you that the most important thing is one, figuring out what it is that you want to accomplish. And two, you have to start by changing and creating some new habits. Um, that's probably the hardest part. Um, and also getting rid of some of the things that you know are destructive. Um, everybody has their own vice. Everybody has their own kind of thing that's got them where they are. But if you're 50, 60, 70 pounds overweight, you're not happy. I don't care what anybody says. You're not happy. Your body's not happy. You don't feel good. You don't look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, I'm like super excited with this muffin top I got hanging over my pants. You struggle breathing. The clothes don't fit right. You don't sleep well. Body parts probably don't work very well. Stop kidding yourself. That's the first and most important thing. Stop lying to yourself. I don't care what anybody says, or body shaming or whatever. You want to be 70 pounds overweight, pre-diabetic, and possibly diabetic, and then on all kinds of medication, and basically pickled. It's like the term that I like to use. Go for it. That's fine. But if you have a family that depends on you, if you have kids that love you, if you have people that are surrounded at you for work, and they depend on you for your leadership, and you don't take care of yourself, right? That's, in my opinion, that's very selfish. You got to work, you got to make money, you got to do these things. But at the end of the day, if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be around to enjoy these things, and it's going to hit you real hard. And at certain points, it almost seems irreversible, some of the damage that can be done, and this is true to some extent. But that's never the excuse. You can't say, "Oh, this is just what happens to me. I get old. This everybody happens." Yeah, a lot of people have been so freaking lazy over their last 20 years about taking care of themselves and just making some basic, simple changes in their life. They blame it on old age. Right? We don't want to take responsibility for it, and that's just BS. You are where you are because of the decisions that you made. Nothing else. No other reason. And in this day and age, really, if you think about it, if you live in this country and you have a job, you can do some basic things to take care of yourself. You hear those examples of, $100 to go grocery shopping and get a week's worth of food is tough, but $100 going out to dinner is reasonable, right? You have to fix your priorities. That's kind of the most important thing, and with everything that's going on with COVID, and the fact that is really only killing people who have comorbidities and are significantly older, that should frighten you, right? That there's something out there that could come along, you could get it, and it could kill you. Not because it killed you, but because you didn't take care of yourself for 20, 30, 40 years, and you had something come along, and now it affects you really bad. And on the other end of that is now you're going to live in fear with this thing that's out there because you are unhealthy and you don't know what to do. So you want everybody else to do things to keep you from getting sick, which isn't fair either. Kind of a opinion in my sense, but it's fact. And take it or leave it. It's up to you. You again have made the decisions. I made the decisions long time ago that I was going to figure out a way to find out ways to be healthy and to stay healthy, and to try to share that message with as many people as I possibly could. And since I started in 1991, this is 26 years later. We are a fatter nation. We are a sicker nation. We are a more disturbed nation. We are on more medication than anywhere else in the world. But we have the best resources. We have the best doctors. We have the best food, but we're still in this state. And it's all because mainly just our own personal decisions and laziness, I think. And just a kind of a society that has gotten priorities kind of twisted and messed up. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this. Something to think about. I tell people this all the time. You either eat to live or you live to eat. Simple philosophy. If you eat to live, you think about what it is that you're putting in your body, how it's going to affect you, and how it's going to either hurt you or help you. If you live to eat, you get that paycheck and you're looking forward to that dinner out with whoever. The reward at the end of the week, you get to throw back a few and eat a nice steak and do whatever, right? Well, that's okay. I'm not knocking it, but when that's the norm, then you end up sick and unhealthy. All right. Anyway, it's late tonight. It's Monday night. Yeah, it's Monday night. I was, debating on, when to do this and how to do this, and I wanted to keep giving you guys some good stuff. I hopefully some of the things that I said maybe resonated with you a little bit, got you thinking about some things. Go ahead, go to our website, aerohealthandfitness.com, go to our blog, and you can read all about what I just talked about, fitness over 40, the secret to losing weight. Someday I'll get Dee on here. Her and I will talk about things. She's got a lot of great things to say also. So until next time, looking forward to seeing you at the gym or maybe online or anywhere else. If you have any questions, reach out. Steven at aerohealthandfitness.com. All right. Talk to you soon.